अगर उसी कड़वाहट में जिएंगे तो हमारा जीना दुभर हो जाएगा, राइट? और अगर बाहर फेंकेंगे तो फिर इट इज विल बी सो मच बैड. तो symbolism in Hinduism is great.
You don't let yourself be too impacted, at the same time don't throw it out other people.
Right,
get affected by
that's
it.
the whole
Yeah.
symbolism behind it. Yes.
So that means,
yeah.
is it that we dissolve our problems without discrimination then? And
I
that
mean, when
would
you say
be
negativities.
negative. Okay, if there is something, so
Yeah, we should just discrimination से dissolve करो.
discrimination is the only way then to dissolve, which neither goes affects you, and which is not affecting the
Yeah.
others outside as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would
And
be
one of the tip is going to come.
Ji?
That is also a kind of meditation. Your control, self-control.
Yeah, and then tips on self-control
Yeah.
are
To
it is
some
going to
extent.
come in Mandukya, because that's quite amazing. The verse that we are going to do now tells you how to do it, because एक तरह तो बोल जाओ या dissolve it, how to do it, but so like what she's saying that विवेक करना पड़ेगा कि भाई जो दुनिया की चीजें वो अनित्य हैं, उसको तो हम उसको होल्ड ऑन नहीं कर सकते. So let it be. क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कुछ इधर उधर हुआ भी तो it will change again, you know.
So it doesn't
Nothing is
go in.
permanent.
That means it's
Yeah.
not affecting you. You protect yourself.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
also.
So, should we go to the next one? Any other thing you want to bring out? When I kind of सहज में I say it, तब मेरे को ठीक से आता है. और अगर मैं थोड़ा भी विचार करने लगी कैसे करते हैं तो गड़बड़ हो जाता है. प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिः
प्रशांतात्मा विगतभिः
ब्रह्मचर्यव्रते स्थितः
ब्रह्मचर्यव्रते स्थितः
मनः संयम्य
मनः संयम्यमच्चित्तो
युक्त आसीत मत्परः.
युक्त आसीत मत्परः.
So Prashant Atma is serene minded, Vigatbhihi, fearless, Brahmacharivrate, in the vow of Brahmacharya, Stitaha, firm, Manaha, the mind, Sanyamya, having controlled, Matchittaha, thinking of me, Yuktaha, balanced, Asit, let him sit, Matparaha, as the supreme goal. So I think Sushilji can read now.
Okay.
Hello.
Serene-minded, fearless, firm in the vow of brahmacharya, having controlled the mind, thinking on me, and balanced, let him sit, having me as the supreme goal.
Oh.
When the meditator has thus practiced meditation for a certain period of time, as a result of his practice, he comes to experience a larger share of quietude and peace in his mind. This extremely subtle form of inward peace is indicated here by the term prashanta. This inward silence and reveling in an atmosphere of extreme joy and contentment is the exact situation in which the individual mind can be trained to express the nobler and the diviner qualities, which are inherent in the divine self.
So let's little bit, because this is a very important paragraph, right? You want to talk about that, Sushilji?
No, you can talk.
So he's saying that when you practice for certain period of time, that means he's telling you to have patience. Because हम लोग को 1 मिनट में रिजल्ट चाहिए, वो तो होने वाला नहीं है. पहले तो हमको बैठना सीखना पड़ेगा, फिर ध्यान केंद्रित करो, फिर बाकी whatever 23 hours you try to withdraw your mind from external things and all that, and then quietude and peace थोड़ा शुरू हो जाएगा. And that is this extremely subtle form of inward peace is indicated here by prashant. एक होता है शांत और एक है प्रशांत, means विशेषणली more weight is in Sanskrit, that's right. So he's telling you that, and उसमें क्या होगा, this inward silence reveling in the atmosphere of extreme joy and contentment is the exact situation where individual can be trained to express the nobler and divine quality which are inherent in the divine self. That means all of us have it. That's the most important. It's not coming from outside. So all the sadhana, that's why it says for inward. So when the atmosphere is correct, तब वो धीरे धीरे बाहर आएंगी वो. और हम लोग को वर्ल्डली चीज़ों में भी मालूम है कि जब हम लोग का मन अच्छा होता है ना तो किसी की बुराई दिखती भी नहीं है. Is that true or not? हम लोग माफ भी कर देते हैं फटाफट.
When you love somebody, when
Love
you're
or
affectionate,
you're in a good
everything.
mood or
Good
something.
mood, yeah.
Or
You don't see
मतलब
that,
you
yeah.
see even in the family, if
Ignore
one
the-
of family member is in an irritated mood, उसको सब कुछ बुरा लगेगा बोलते हैं. खाना भी बुरा है, ये भी है, सभी mean है, ये है वो है. And if they are happy, then so
So prashant means more silence. Huh?
yeah, prashant is शांत से भी जिन्होंने बोला special शांति मिलती है. And that's why people when they start meditating after a while, they say, yeah, I really love it, you know. So I think that's what it is.
I think every word is important is because
Yeah.
you have to have serene-minded, plus be fearless, plus have the vow of brahmacharya. So what does that mean? Like
He's gonna
He's
tell
going
you.
to do that.
further, yeah.
that's
Abhi to he's just talked about that prashant word.
and stable mind,
Right.
having control, and also need to have a goal when you meditate. Someone also told me you need to have a goal.
Because you missed
So
that
the goal
class.
is to, huh?
You missed the whole class. We discussed in the whole class what is the goal. Because he
So
already
that's why
talked
I'm
about
not
it.
saying what is the goal. I'm saying you need to have a goal when you meditate. So that's-
Yes. So without goal, if you do, then
Yeah.
you all the energy that is saved, you don't know what to apply, where to apply. So he tells you exactly that you revel in that higher self. That's the goal.
A meditator invariably finds it difficult to scale the higher realms of experience due to sheer psychological fear complex. As the yogi slowly and steadily gets unwound from his sensuous vasanas, he gets released, as it were, from the cruel embrace of his own mental octopus. At this moment of transcendence, the unprepared seeker feels mortally afraid of the thought that he is getting himself dissolved into nothingness. The ego, because of its long habit of living in close proximity to its own limitations, finds it hard even to believe that there is an existence supreme, divine and infinite. One is reminded of the story of stranded fishermen who complained that they could not get any sleep at all when they had to spend a night in a flower shop till they put their baskets very near to their noses. Away from our pains, we dread to enter the infinite bliss.
So now he's telling you what the fear is. The ego does not want to give up. पहले तो ego does not believe that there is anything higher, and then it's so used to holding on to the world कि उसको होता है मैं कहीं nothing में मेरा क्या होगा. Some in the beginning you feel that fear when you are sitting of nothingness, because you just don't know. Like you said, if you don't have a goal, you say, okay, now what? Where am I going with this? So we have to take that fear out.
Yeah, I think in last class who was discussing it, Joe or someone, they went to that Vivekananda cave and they sat down and they heard some noises and they got frightened. After that they left the spiritual path. I don't know.
No, I didn't know that.
Someone was telling that.
I don't recall.
Incident.
So you mean some people went there and
Yeah, कोई कल last class में तो बता रहा था कुछ.
yeah, because see the
मतलब
thing is,
उसने वो इतना
Experience
whoever
भी तो
it is,
दिखता
I
है
don't
ना.
know,
हाँ.
कि प्रशांत जो word आया है ना, then if you're not used to it, that
so that's
so
why
much
it's
of-
telling you कि
नहीं,
क्या
not
क्या
Prashant, we're talking about fear now.
नहीं, that word, if you once experience that and you're not really used to it,
Yeah.
It
so then
takes
it's
time.
fearful for you, no?
Yeah. And people have all kinds of different reactions, but also a lot of people they also in these books like Bhagavad Gita or Mandukya and all that, they tell you the pitfalls कि भाई क्या हो सकता है कि लोग इधर पहुंच के फिर छोड़ देते हैं या फिर नीचे गिर जाते हैं या कुछ. So it warns you against all those things also.
Yeah, I think that when you're sitting in silence, you're really connecting to the universe. And when you connect to the universe, you will hear sounds and whatever thoughts.
Those things can happen, yes,
That
yes.
can happen. So that's the time, or some might get an image. So that's the time you don't have to be frightened. I think that's what it is.
And also the people who went for Vipassana 10 days, and because our family, couple of people go, and they also tell us कि शुरू में बहुत सारी नेगेटिविटी होती है, बिकॉज जो हमारे सब कॉन्शियस में ना वो सब ऊपर आता है. Mandukya is going to talk about that it has to come out. It's जैसे कि कोई हम लोग कुछ साफ कर रहे हैं तो गंदगी पहले बाहर आएगी ना. हम स्क्रब भी करते हैं तो दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है एंड फिर ऑल ऑफ अ सडन काला काला दिखता है. सो यू गॉट टू कंटिन्यू बिकॉज इफ उसमें हम लोग डर जाएंगे तो गया फिर. सो all kind of जन्मों का निकलता है बाहर. एंड some people told me that they start crying, they cannot handle their own emotions, and that person who is guiding them will say it's okay, that means you are improving. See the difference? Because some people get scared, meditation is doing something bad to me, but if you know the whole path, then you got to stick to it. It may or may not happen, we don't know, but if it does, that's not supposed to be so negative. And even if negative thoughts come, mind is going to do all kinds of weird stuff, but then they tell you to just observe and let it go. Observe. So there are so many things like that कि भाई ये नहीं कि जो बैठेगा उसका हमेशा upward journey ही होगी. You know, that's what I think that they're trying to tell you.
Even in Ayurvedic treatments and all, they make you, they take out, because the mind, body and spirit, तीनों का connection वो लोग करते ना. So even in Ayurvedic treatments also, they make you sit alone and all that.
Because
You're
they
not
want
supposed
you
to be talking, no cell phones. If you go to get the treatment done, no cell phones,
And वो कौन सा
no
दूसरा
TV.
वाला है होम्योपैथी में भी शुरू में सिम्टम ज्यादा हो जाते हैं कोई चीज में है ना.
आयुर्वेद और होम्योपैथी
Whenever you're doing any cleansing, you'll get headache on thing. So basically,
वुंड है तो वो वुंड पहले बढ़ता हुआ दिखता है.
कौन से वाले में?
होम्योपैथिक और
हाँ,
आयुर्वेदिक
हाँ,
में
हाँ.
वुंड छोटे सा भी घाव है तो
अच्छा.
पहले बढ़ता हुआ दिखता है
और फिर
उसके बाद फिर हीलअप होता है.
Yeah,
तो
yeah.
लोगों को क्या घबराहट होती है, बाप रे बढ़ गया ये कहाँ है.
अब बीच में छोड़ देंगे फिर वो.
एलोपैथ में जाओ 1 सेकंड में सूख जाएगा चोटी. तो 1 सेकंड में सूखेगा फिर उभरेगा. वो पूरा
कॉज नहीं निकाला उन्होंने ना. हाँ, कॉज अंदर दबा हुआ है कॉज.
होम्योपैथी जो है वो स्लो एंड स्टीडी चलता है, वो मेडिटेशन.
It's amazing that all these concepts, they are like true in both kind of places. Physical world as well as spiritual world is the same thing.
This
And in this thing, there is no partitions. Just like in the Western thinking, they have partitions.
Yeah, नहीं
In the Eastern, there's no partition. One just merges into the other, merges into the other. There's no partition.
What do you mean? I don't know.
like the
Partition
medical
means-
field है ना.
Oh, medical field to the spiritual.
यहाँ
and
पर
other
मतलब ये बोलेंगे
spiritual.
बॉडी है तो
yeah,
बॉडी
yeah.
पे ही फोकस करेंगे, माइंड है तो माइंड पे ही फोकस
Yeah,
करेंगे.
yeah, not individual. Yeah. It's
Merges
soul तो है ही
it
नहीं.
merges.
other.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
vocabulary में. So basically what you're saying, yeah, I see what you're saying.
but आजकल वो Oprah Winfrey has started a whole show on the soul only.
Oh, she is very much into it. No, I'm not talking in general. I'm taking the allopathy. Does
Where
not.
she got
You
her
look.
main thing from?
Yeah, India only. She went to India.
Who?
They all go
Oprah.
to
Oprah. Yeah, she's into it.
But now, finally, the medical world is slowly recognizing it because every hospital does have integrated medicine. They are recognizing yoga, they are recognizing mind and all that. Soul tak nahi पहुंचे अभी, but mind तो करने लगे हैं, you know. So slowly they are recognizing it, definitely.
This sense of fear is the death knell of all spiritual progress. Even if progress were to reach the bosom of such an individual, he would be compelled to reject it because of the rising storm of his subjective fear. Even though the mind has become extremely peaceful and joyous and has renounced all its sense of fear through the study of scriptures and continuous practice of regular meditation, progress is not assured. The possibility of failure shall ever hang over the head of the seeker unless he struggles hard to get established in perfect brahmacharya.
Continue. So he's going to talk about what is
Yeah, I think
brahmacharya.
it's okay.
The asceticism of brahmacharya. Here the phrase implies not only its Upanishadic implications, but definitely something more original, especially when it comes from Lord Krishna's mouth, and that too in the context of the Gita. Brahmacharya, generally translated as celibacy, has a particular meaning, but the term has also a wider and a more general implication. Brahmacharya is not only the control of the sex impulses, but is also the practice of self-control in all avenues of sense impulses and sense satisfaction. Unless the seeker has built up a perfect cage of intelligent self-control, the entire world of objects will flood his bosom, to bring therein a state of unending chaos. A mind thus agitated by the inflow of sense stimuli is a mind that is completely dissipated and ruined.
But that's self-explanatory, right? He's talking about not just one type of impulse that we always associate brahmacharya with, but he's talking about all sense control in an intelligent way. So ye nahi ki, you become totally celibate. That's not what he's saying. But when you are meditating, and it has to be balanced life. And then once this chapter will open up further, and then somebody was saying that brahmacharya ka. Let's finish this. Maybe he's talking about it. Because
In this one, it's
yeah, he's
it
talking
talks
about
about.
Apart from this meaning, which is essentially indicative of the goal, or rather a state of complete detachment from the mind's courting of external world of objects, there is a deeper implication to this significant and famous term. Brahmacharya, as such, is a term that can be dissolved in Sanskrit to mean wandering in Brahma Vichara. To engage our mind in the contemplation of the self, the supreme reality, is the saving factor that can really help us in withdrawing the mind from external objects.
So this is what everybody needs to remember. ब्रह्मचर्य का वर्ड आया कहाँ से? ब्रह्मचरति, ब्रह्मन में जो विचरण करता है, मतलब thinking about that and staying in that context, that's when your intelligence self.
Actually, you can talk in Hindi because the word terms एकदम right word आता है.
I think that mine is going to be Hinglish.
And everybody
Hindi and English
understands. Very good Hindi over here.
पर मेरे को नहीं वो आएगा ना. It's going to be mixed.
करते करते आ जाएगा क्योंकि आप दूसरे क्लास में बच्चों को करते हैं, they need English, but just see.
No.
So anyway, so basically everybody, because this term we have heard it 100 times, right? Brahmacharya. Now we know the meaning. कि ब्रह्मन में विचरण करना यानी ब्रह्मचर्य. ये नहीं कि खाली वो celibacy की बात कर रहे हैं. No, it's not it. No.
The human mind must have one field or another to engage itself in. Unless it's given some inner field to meditate upon, it will not be in a position to retire from its extrovert preoccupations. This is the secret behind all success in total celibacy. The successful yogi need not be gazed at as a rare phenomena in nature. His success can be success of all. Only if we know how to establish ourselves in this inward self-control. It is because people are ignorant of the positive methods to be practiced for a continuous and successful negation and complete rejection of the charms of sense organs that they invariably fail in their endeavor. Naturally, it becomes easy for the individual who has gained in himself all the three above-mentioned qualities to control and direct the newfound energies in himself. The inward peace, an attribute of the intellect, comes only when the discriminative faculty is relatively quiet. Fearlessness brings about a great control over the exhausting thought commotions in the mental zone. Brahmacharya, in its aspect of sense withdrawal, lends a larger share of physical quietude. Therefore, when by the above process the intellect, mind and body are all controlled and brought to the maximum amount of peace and quietude, the way of life pursued by the seeker provides for him a large saving of mental energy which would otherwise have been spent away in sheer dissipation. This newly discovered and fully availed of strength makes the mind stronger and stronger, so that the seeker experiences in himself a growing capacity to withdraw his wandering mind unto himself and to fix his entire thoughts in the contemplation of me, the self. But this one thing is important when it says contemplation of me and then it says self. That is the main thing to understand, that he's
It
not
is
talking about the body, Krishna,
Right.
as a person.
Right. I think that we all probably know, and we should just think about it. What he's saying is very, very important. Whenever he says me, always, because he's totally in tune with that Brahman. When he says me, means his self, Brahman, Atman, those kind of things. Because he's just telling. Some people who don't know about this, they will say, how can Krishna be so arrogant? Constantly he's saying, bow down to me, now do namaskar. But if you don't know what he's talking about, that's how you'll feel. So that's what it is. So that's what point you're bringing, right?
The concluding
So
instruction.
here the me is not Krishna, is the self.
Yeah, when Krishna says me, because Krishna, when he was saying the Bhagavad Gita, he was in complete yoga stand. He is identifying with Brahman. So he's talking as though Brahman is talking. That's why it is me.
Yeah, but the me is the Brahman or me is me.
No, the
No,
Brahman is
Brahman.
the same. Oh, okay, this is what it is. I think that the best example is space. Space is in and through me also. So I'm part of it. I can't even be part of it. I am it.
Yeah, because here it has karma, the self. So here he is
The self, actually, the
he is
self.
focusing on me as
See, the self, do you see the self has a capital?
Yeah.
So whenever they talk about capital self, it's not that little me. It's talking about the Atman.
Okay.
So that's what we have to remember. So when we say कोई लोग बोलेंगे soul, Atman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, जो भी नाम देना हो, you can get Ishwar. Those may be little technical words. There is a difference in Vedanta. We have to go study that technical day, or that one day maybe we'll do that. But when he's talking about the self, just think of that final जो main Turiya position बोल दो, right? There are everything in
Self is when you
Krishna
want to become
becomes
in one with God.
Krishna, because he was totally merged into मतलब कि जैसे वो एकदम merge हो गए थे ना परमात्मा में, वो तो बचपन से ही was an avatar ना, so उनका शुरू से एकदम वो है, he was just coming over here to ये सब रचाने के लिए और सिखाने के लिए, क्योंकि यदा यदा जो
Right, right, but that's-
नहीं,
So
but
he
इनका
is
question
talking
different
about-
है.
he is talking about that एकदम जैसे ब्रह्मांड से वो, जैसे उन्होंने बोला ब्रह्मांड से वो निकल रही थी वो
No, no,
गीता।
नहीं, लेकिन इनका
I
question
think
क्या है?
what
Let
was-
him say the question first. हाँ.
Here says entire
Me.
thoughts in the contemplation of me. If there is a full stop there, I understand the me will be Brahman. Which says comma the self. I'm trying
It's
to
both.
understand.
It's same.
That to
It's
make
the
us
same. It's the
understand.
same. Me, जैसे बोलते हैं ना, दो चीजें बोलिए, but they are identical. But he's talking about या तो me बोल दो, which is he is into, not into. He
He's
is
clarifying that
totally.
me is self.
Me
Yeah,
is, I
me
think
is
the
a
God only is Brahman. It's not us. We're not contemplating on ourselves. We're contemplating on the God only.
But when we say ourself, when we say कि inward,
That is ourself, right?
the reason he's saying ourselves, because this is how it is. If you say think of the space, it's everywhere, right? So why do I have to go somewhere else when it is within me also?
No, I think that we are getting it wrong, because what is the goal of meditation? The goal of meditation is to unite with God.
No, that's
And
not.